Is the new RS7 Performance worth it? We're showcasing the 2025 Audi RS7 Performance in florid silver metallic over cognac interior. Last year, we had the Performance added, which gives us 30 horsepower more than 2023 with 37 pound-feet of torque more. We also added 22-inch wheels last year and a Braun edition for North America, which we only had 50 examples. We actually have it on the channel. But is all of the changes from 2024 to now worth it? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. That's what we're going to touch bases on and compare this against the competition with some pros and cons. The front gets standard HD matrix LED headlights, daytime runnings, Audi laser. It does a little dance whenever you unlock the doors, so it's a welcoming to your RS7 Performance. With the single frame grille, we got the gloss black. We do not have the black optic package, but I like that it's still with the glossy black. The Audi rings getting blacked out, that's a standalone package, or you can option the matte carbon package, which will give you the matte carbon exterior trim, the front side flaps, the side sill inserts, and it's going to be the same thing for the black optic package, which I would tick the box to that, but as it sits, I'm liking what I get because we have upgraded performance from last year that carries over. Now, it's not going to be as fast as the new BMW M5, but how many times do people really take these on the tracks? I mean, underneath the hood is a 4.0 liter TFSI V8 twin turbo producing 621 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission reaching 60 Audi quotes at 3.3 seconds. Now, putting these numbers in perspective, the Lamborghini Huracan, a performance variant, is only 10 horsepower more than this. That's what you're getting. Literally, a detuned Lamborghini for a fraction of the price. Now, the black optic package will give you 22-inch 5 Y-spoke design bicolored finished wheels, and the matte carbon package will have a matte black finish with the Y-spoke design wheel. But the example today we're showing has a 275, 35, 21 on all four corners. Behind those wheels, we have a 16.5-inch disc. It's vented. The RS calipers in black, that's 10 pistons in the front. Hell, the rear is at 14.6-inch disc that's vented. On the S7, that's larger than all the disc on that vehicle. So you have the stoppage because it's near 5,000 pounds. The black optic package or the carbon matte package will change the satin aluminum that's on the side view mirror to black or the carbon. The lower skirt, the same thing, and the window trims will get the gloss black. I would tick the box to the black optic package because you get the upgraded wheels also, so you don't have to do the standalone package. You're already paying a premium for the paint, which brings me to a con right off the bat because there's only around 10 colors to configure for such a unique vehicle. With RS-tuned adaptive air suspension, with a sport rear differential, which when you're accelerating hard, this is going to help with the cornering. The Quattro system, which is the all-wheel drive. Now going back to competition, the Porsche Panamera e-hybrid. That's what you would have to go to, which is 190 grand roughly MSRP to beat this by 0.3 seconds on a 0 to 60. That's how fast this vehicle is, because anything underneath that is going to be slower than this. Horsepower and torque, this is one of the most in class besides the new BMW M5. As for Mercedes, you're going to be spending about the same amount of money. And it's going to be the same speed, but this is going to have more power underneath the hood. And if you put them side by side, a few tenths of a second here or there is not going to really change the ball game. It's really when you're going more towards that quarter mile and getting the top speeds that you could actually see the vehicle going a lot further instead of going from light to light. So the argument of a few tenths of a second quicker, it doesn't make any sense because most of the people that buy these vehicles never take them on the track. And because it's a hatchback, you're getting up to around 49 cubic feet of storage, which if you're thinking an SUV, you don't have to go that route. You can get this and you have just as much space for your cargo. And you could actually tow with the Porsche and the RS. The wing deploy at higher speeds or you could do it manually. LED matrix design tail lights and the lower gets the oval exhaust tips because this is an RS. Now you can get those blacked out when you go into the black optic package and you can add the active exhaust. With reverse parking sensors, you do have to tick the box to a 360-degree reverse camera, which we have that here. And because you're already at over $130,000 MSRP, some of the things I would like to see standard, like the soft closed doors and that 360-degree reverse camera, but the packages that get added with it make up for the price difference. But when you're talking about competition, is this truly worth it? That's the question that I bring into play. I think it is, because you're getting quick 0 to 60s, you have the hatchbacks, you have the cargo capacity, the styling, even on a base, looks aggressive. You have to usually tick the box to a lot of packages, whether you go to Porsche, Mercedes, or BMW, but which way would you go? Drop a comment and let us know. Power trunk to go into 24.6 cubic feet of storage, and this is the best part about a hatch. Look at the opening that you have. You got a little storage nook right here with a neck. You get your 12 volt right here. LED interior lights with bag holders tucked right there. Unfortunately though, you have to go into the back seat in order to split fold the rear bench at the 40-20-40 split or the 60-40 split. You just pull these little levers here, and this will maximize the cargo capacity to the sport back. This is the Performance. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. The key fob to the RS7 Performance. 12-way power seat adjustment, heated, ventilated front seats, Volcona leather wrapped seats. They have a RS design package that would be in gray or blue. The blue is more money, but standard will have the RS embossing, honeycomb design, manual cushion extensions, memory for the driver, and because we have the executive package, this is what you get. Soft closed doors. It also adds leather on this part of the steering wheel. The RS design package will give this Alcantara, as well as putting it onto here. The executive package adds the leather here, as well as here. And on top of the dashboard with a heads-up display, it is a driver-focused setup. The ambient lighting will start with the Quattro badging. You get the satin aluminum, the carbon twill inlays, with 3 different screens. You have a 10.1 MMI up top, 8.6. That's going to be for the climate control, and a 12.3 Audi virtual cockpit. Let's fire it up. Now we do have this standard Bang & Olufsen sound system. If you get the 3D, it's going to have 18 speakers and over 1800 watts. The actual tweeter will pop out right here, so it is pretty cool design. The top screen is going to have your navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa. This is what I like about Audi. It's so clean and crisp. You have the haptic feel whenever you're pushing onto it, so it just makes a little tap noise. Click it to the vehicle here, and you have different driving modes, which will go into comfort, auto, or dynamic. When you put dynamic, you also notice that the ride is going to lower. And you can go into here and you can configure it for RS1 and RS2. Put it into reverse. We have a 360-degree reverse camera or top view, which will have trajectory for the front and the rear. When we click onto this 3D button here, you can go all around the vehicle. Expand this out, and you can do it this way as well. You can take the 3D off, and now you have a lot of different reverse angles to make it easier for you. We also have the driver assist package, which gives you the adaptive cruise control with the lane guidance. And we have the remote park assist plus that's also included in the executive package. Going into the lower screen, this is going to be derived for the climate control, as well as your driving mode select. You can just push the buttons and it'll go right up to here. Perforated on top of the gear lever, glossy black with the ambient lighting, 12 volt with an area for the key fob. And I like this material because it's a little bit more easier to clean up, so you don't have that scratch look, because when you have the gloss black, sometimes that can happen over time. This is going to be a little bit sporty. You can move it forward or backwards. It opens up into an Audi phone box, which will increase your signal, as well as a wireless charger. 2 USB ports, and the steering wheel, it's all perforated. RS spec, flat bottom, multi-function with the paddle shifts. The 12.3 digital reader is RS spec as well. It is configurable with options to add things like night vision, You can expand this out, you can zoom it in, zoom it out. The executive package adds the heads-up display and leg space. You're gonna have plenty of it. You get a little storage net here. There isn't any pass-through. Headroom is more than enough. This will have a upgraded headliner. You can either do that a la carte or with the RS design package with the moonroof. The RS design package also adds the edging color on the seat belts. Dashboard and door configuring together nicely. That carbon comes into play here. And because it's soft closed doors, everything is nice and soft. One touch up and down for the windows with a medium-sized storage pocket. Just the entrance is a little tight. And you'll have a little concealed weapon holder for those who like to pack it. And check this out, when you turn the car off,
your mobile device is still in the vehicle.
It alerts you so you know that you left your cell phone inside. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and storage or armrest. Dual climate control setting in the back, heated rear seats because of the executive package, 2 USB-C ports, 12-volt air vents, storage behind both of the front seats, and the door is going to have the carbon that comes into play. You'll have the soft materials here, and it's soft where you rest your arms with about the same size storage pocket. Sitting behind me, you're going to have plenty of room, and they even carve it out. So even if this is pushed back, you should still have a pretty sufficient amount of space. I'm at 6'3". Headroom does get a little bit tight. Sliding into the center, there's a pretty big hump right here. So you're gonna share some feet space. The rails are kind of pushed up enough, but they're not, so you have to share some feet space there. Butt, leg, and shoulder space, it's actually not too bad, but at 6'3", put me on the side so I can enjoy the ride. 621 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. My God, that's a lot. 3.30 to 60 is what Audi's quoting. Let's see what we can get. Crazy speeds. Grip, grip, that's what it's doing. Doing a great job there. Braking, not an issue at all. Now this is going to be fun here. That's what I mean by fast. That was an AMG GT53. Now it's not going to be as fast as this vehicle, but man, this thing just takes off. No tire screech. It's gripping well. Look at the exit. You just feel very confident in the drive. Man, she does a great job. And this is an everyday vehicle. Now, it's not practical by any means. I mean, you're at $130,000+. You add a few features, you're gonna be over 150 really quick. But this is something that you can daily. It's still kind of a disguised vehicle, so it fly underneath the radar per se. And it's smooth, it's quiet in the interior, dual pane windows, soft seats. The suspension, even though it's RS tuned, it feels very athletic when you need it to be, but if you want to drive it in comfort, it feels soft. Sound system, I don't know if I would upgrade that unless I was adding packages with it. You could do it as a standalone option, but definitely tick the box to the black optic package, or if you don't, then take it where you can kind of cover up the side view mirrors, the skirts, and some of the front so it get that glossy black. It just looks a little bit more athletic. I do like it with this paint palette though. I think that this stands out with these 21-inch wheels so it doesn't look base. It actually looks like you have some features with it. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons, starting off with the pros. As you saw, the performance, it is insane. This thing will just drive like a rocket. Now, we've done the M5. We have a few reviews on the channel. An awesome vehicle, but my con to that vehicle is it's a plug-in hybrid only. I wish that they gave 2 different variants so that way you had a choice. Because a lot of people, when they're thinking about an M, they don't really want a plug-in hybrid. That's why this ticks the box. You get the 48-volt mild system, but you get that twin turbo V8. Fill it up with gas, you get 14 mpgs for the city, 21 mpgs for the highway. I know it's not great, but you're not really expecting to save fuel when you're buying this type of animal. For the everyday drive, even going over imperfections, it's smooth. There's just a lot of pros when you're going into a hatch with this much power, with this much design, and this much technology, because Audi goes a little bit further with their system. I mean, you have 3 different screens that's integrated. It's sporty even on the passenger side, even though it's a driver-focused setup. They're not necessarily disqualified. You can still utilize the cup holders. Now, there's not a lot of storage, which is a con to me. I do like the wireless charging pad because it also increases your signal as well as charging your phone, which a lot of companies don't do that. Audi is one of few. But I guess the big problem is you do have to kind of a la carte the vehicle quite a bit in order to make it what it is, in which when you go RS7, I kind of wish some of those things were standard. At least the soft closed doors. I understand for the leather being on top of the dash. The center of the steering wheel though, I mean, come on. Even BMW's done this a few years back where they've made the plastic. We got it back in dynamics. Turn radius, and more or less the stop point. This Kia doesn't come too close to me. Is about a lane and apart. Let's rock and roll. That's not even getting on it. Literally, I'm just hitting about 3 RPM-ish. Now, the sound deadening can be a con in some cases because we don't have any active exhaust note, and if you put it into a regular drive or a comfort, you're not gonna hear anything but the road noise, but you're gonna expect that with 21-inch wheels. They're not staggered, so that does help a little bit with service. I don't think you're gonna be too concerned though about servicing when you're buying this type of vehicle. Going back against competition, Porsche, they make an excellent vehicle. We have the Panamera on our channel already, and I really did like the updates that came into play. However, when you're spending near 200 grand to get what you get here, it just doesn't make any sense. The same thing with Lamborghini. They don't even have a Huracan anymore, so the price is just gonna escalate even more. But even if you were to get one, even pre-owned, you're still looking near $200,000. So again, the savings for 10 horsepower difference doesn't make any sense. BMW, the M5, awesome vehicle. The price has escalated. We do have a review on the channel. I think it's about 160-ish all in with all types of specs. But the problem with that, look at what you're paying. And that's why when you're thinking about Audi, it's not necessarily the least expensive, but you can make this vehicle truly exceptional with the discounted price. And Mercedes states on their specs that it's the same 0 to 60. And I know there's probably more horsepower and torque whenever you take it to a dyno, and you could probably get a quicker 0 to 60. But all of that is only going to equate to how exceptional this vehicle truly is. Now, going back to some cons, the 2-screen configuration, you get used to it, but I kind of like some physical buttons, and Audi has purposely made everything where it's touch derived, which can be good, but in the same perspective, if you want to go into like your driver mode select, you have to click it and then you got to click it again. So you do have to do multiple inputs to the screen configuration, and it's all tilted towards the driver. So the passenger, whenever they're using anything of it, it's not even near them. The back seats, it's really for 2. You could fit 3 on a pinch. I wouldn't really recommend it, especially if you're over 6 foot tall. It's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable. The headliner drops down a little bit, so even for somebody 6'3" like me, my head will be against the headliner. It's doable on the sides, and they do carve out some leg room for the back of the front seat. So I like that they do that. But unfortunately, it takes me to some more cons. You got manual cushion extensions for $130,000+ price point. You have to add features for the heated rear seats. I mean, come on, Audi. I know we got more performance last year, but it's more or less a carryover this year. So give me some specs, but overall performance and what you get at this price, it's really impossible to complain about things. It's more like nitpicking. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, live stream, merchandise, website, TikTok, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Audi of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 Audi RS7 Performance for our car review.